Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Gilda Evans, bringing you the Autism Resource Podcast. This podcast and the ARP website are your one stop knowledge and resource base for autism and much more. I'm very happy to have Dr. Norma Hollis join me as my guest today. Norma is a transformational strategist who writes, develops, and implements programs for human development. She is an international speaker and coach specializing in transforming the lives of people who want to live the authentic life they were born for. She is a leading authority on authenticity and is affectionately known as the Godmother of Authenticity. Welcome, Norma, and thank you so much for taking the time to join me and discuss the work that you do.
Well, Gilda, thank you for having me and recognizing the link between your work and mine. It's so exciting for me to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, to get us going, tell me about your experience working with neurodivergent youth.
I really haven't worked with them. I have worked with a few. I taught in Detroit many years ago. And I remember one of the great experiences I had substitute teaching was with a group of deaf children. Who would think? Because substitute teaching was very difficult. And I've been around a long time. And I remember when I started subbing at my first school, which is elementary school I went to, I had a week-long assignment. And the principal greeted me with a paddle and told me I could not get through the week without a paddle in my hand. And he was right. By Thursday, I said, take your paddle, I'm gone, because I couldn't take it. And the difference between that environment and being with the deaf children who were really engaged and really just interested and really wondering, what am I missing? It's just such a big difference. So it was a joyful experience. But my experience with autism is because I have a cousin who was born autistic. He lived until 56. He just died maybe about 5 years ago and had a very functional life. But what I found so interesting was that he reminded me of myself in ways. I see myself as on the spectrum, not deeply, but I've always been very spirit driven, spirit directed, connected, communicating, and therefore very much by myself a lot in my life. Because I have a lot of gifts, I'm very existential and very logical, and I have a lot of different gifts based on Dr. Howard Gardner's work. So I could sift through it. I could work my way through it. I understand it now. I'm 76, so I had enough years to see it, experience it, study it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I also learned that the diet that I have to eat is the diet that's recommended for autistic children. So there's some relationship. So that's why I think you invited me to come in, because while I'm not there, I'm there. So it's a little different. And I'm an adult there now, so it's a little different.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Tell us about your work with authenticity and how it relates to the neurodivergent population. What's that intersection?
My main priority with authenticity is the belief that God sent all of us here with an assignment and gave us the gifts and talents to live that assignment. And what I've learned in all these years is how much society strives to take us off our assignment and help us to forget our assignment. So when I think about autistic children, I think that they know their assignment, just don't know how to do it and how to receive it or understand it or whatever. So my work with authenticity is just that, to help people understand that, to help people reconnect, to help them slow down and take time and reflect on life, because people just go through life so fast. They call JOB jumping out of bed or just over broke. And that's how people live a lot. They don't really take time and examine life in the way autistic children sit and watch the fire and examine, what am I looking at? What does it mean? What is it? What's the message? That's what authenticity is about, helping people take that deeper dive into who they are. Life doesn't give you that opportunity. You're fast. Your parents are taught to get them in, get them learning, get them reading fast, get them doing this, get them doing that, take them here, take them there, get them structured, get them scheduled. That's it. And the kids, that's life. But authenticity is about slowing down and taking time to reflect on what just happened and assess, oh, it happened before. What does that mean? Maybe I should change. No one teaches us self-awareness or shows us how to be self-aware. So that's what it's really about, going deeper into who we are, connecting what we're experiencing with the experience God wants us to assume. It's very God-oriented, but it's also very you-oriented, because God's in each one of us. And it's helping people understand how to read that, how to connect with their inner voice and connect with their individual path. I look at life as a jigsaw puzzle, and all of us are one puzzle piece. If we can sort and find our team, our group, the people who we resonate with, and find how we fit with them in the world, the jigsaw puzzle starts to get fit, get them to match. And I think the autistic children have a really special place. I know a lot of autistic mothers I met along the way, and I share with them about the dietary issues. And all of them are just enthralled with their autistic children and what they're going through. Yeah. And even my cousin, who's the mother of the 56-year-old autistic, she grieved so long after his death because they had such a bond in all the years that she cared for him. And that's, I think, the special thing that they bring for those who have them in their lives, that depth that most of us miss in life because we're so busy jumping out of bed and just over broke. It's just the way we live life. We follow that. So that's what it's about. Reversing that all over the world. I have people in South Africa and Suriname and China and a number of places who are sharing this program in their communities because it makes a difference.
Now, you mentioned diet a couple of times, and I know you often talk about the importance of a proper diet. So, can you share some dietary information with us in terms of
Sure.
what you're talking about?
It surprised me in 2010 when I found out that I had kidney stones. And so I did the research to see what should I be eating. And I had calcium oxalate stones, which means that I had a problem with either oxalate or calcium. And actually it was both. And so as I was reading, I went to a site called, I think it was oxalate.info. And as I was reading that, I was surprised because it said that a low oxalate diet is what is recommended for autistic children, that they have a lot of success. And I'm not going to use the word reversals. I'm not sure what the actual word they have, and I'm not that kind of doctor, but they did talk about the results they were having. So, oxalate is a crystal, and it's a crystal that is found on many foods. And what I understand is that God put the crystal on certain foods to keep the bugs away from them so that humans could enjoy them or whatever. We don't need them in our body. But in my particular case, because I took antibiotics for several decades, I think the cilia in my intestines was eaten away and I can't move them. So therefore, I have this low oxalate diet and it helps. And certain foods like bananas, I cannot eat because I can't digest them. They don't move. So anyway, in reading about this, it says that the autistic children are having much success with these low oxalate diets. And that's what I would recommend parents read about and see if that makes a difference in the life of their children.
So, what are some of the biggest culprits in terms of
Yes.
oxalates to avoid?
Thank you. The main ones is spinach, very high oxalate. Nuts, particularly almonds and cashews, very high oxalate. Beets, I don't touch beets. Carrots is high, not the highest, but they're high. Let's see now, broccoli you should boil before you eat it because it has high oxalate, except pour the water out so the children don't eat that. I've avoided these things for so long, I forgot what I don't eat. But my diet is very much not like most people's diets because certain things I don't eat. Green leafy vegetables. So I eat lettuce. Some kales are good. You have to research that. Spinach, of course, is not very good at all. That has a lot of oxalates. Your Swiss chard has a lot of oxalates. You have to read which ones do and which ones don't. I avoid wheat and tofu, soy. Soy is very high oxalate. These are all things that parents can experiment and avoid them for a short time and then go back to them.
So, thank you for sharing those dietary tips. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share, maybe about your authenticity program? Perhaps some tips for parents you want to share as well.
Yeah. And this is very important because parents have such a challenge, I'm sure, raising an autistic child because it's so outside of the norm of how society is structured. What you want to do is make sure you keep yourself calm and that you're clear on your authenticity. And by that, I'm talking about what are your strengths and your vulnerabilities, and how does that relate to your ability to work with your children and the joy and the flow that you get in that process. I have an online assessment. I actually studied human nature for 30 years. It started when I was 28, and I realized I had become my parents' version of who they thought a Black woman should be in America. So I had the husband who had a good job. We both had great cars. I had a good job. We had a nice house on a hill, and we had money in the bank. And I was miserable. And I didn't know what to do with myself because I didn't know who I was because I became my parents' version of what they thought. And that's when I started my journey of seeing who am I? Who is Norma? What's Norma's authenticity? I thought it would just be a short journey, but I actually researched for 30 years. And I came up with a grid that I call my authenticity grid that shows how each person has an inner voice that no one hears but you, an outer voice, which is how people perceive you when they meet you, and an expressive voice, which is who you have become in the world and how you live your life day to day. And then you have a strength. You're either a thinker, you like to think a lot, you're a communicator, you enjoy the verbal communication, or you're a doer. So what my grid does, I have an assessment that you can take online. It's complimentary, and it helps you see yourself in the 9 dimensions of authenticity. Some people call my grid a soul map because since no one teaches, since there's no formal way, I won't say no one, but I haven't found a formal way that our society teaches self-awareness, teaches you who you are. We teach you how to get a job. We teach you how to believe in a religion, but we don't teach you what's going on inside of you and how to manage it and what it means and how to develop it. Some children are lucky enough to have parents who get that, but most don't because most people are just over broke and jumping out of bed and just trying to get by every day. This is what I would recommend for people to just take my authenticity assessment, just the 9 questions. So it sometimes make you think about life a little differently and help you to slow down a little bit. And then you'll get your scores and you'll have some information there. And you can take it by going to my website, which is normahollis.com, normahollis.com. On that first page of the website, scroll down and you'll find the chance to take the assessment. You'll also see a short video. You can watch a video that explains the grid and explains the work that I've done. And that will help you understand the results that you get when you get your results. And then you'll get an invitation for some connection with me, with my company, to have a call with us, whatever. But you'll see whatever is coming through. And I encourage you to participate. No charges, just check it out. Because the more knowledge you have, the easier your challenges will be. Because I know you have them if you've got a child who's autistic, whether it's communicating with the child's instructors, for deciding what to do, figuring out what's next, listening to your own authentic voice, because it will guide you to what's next. And I can teach you how to listen with a lot more clarity. So that's normahollis.com. And you will go through the whole site. There's a lot of information there that will maybe of value to you. Or Google me online, Norma Hollis, and you never know what you might find that might be valuable for you. I'm here to help. I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to help people in society become more of who God intends you to be. So I invite you to join my community. I'd love to meet you.
Thank you. Norma, is there anything at this point we haven't discussed or that you want to mention? Or what do you think is the most important takeaway for parents and other people that might be listening to this episode?
What I would like to leave them with is the advice that I give most people when I get a chance to talk, and that's how to help you connect with your inner voice a little bit more. Authenticity begins in your inner voice. When you are able to listen to your voice more effectively, you can get clarity about your own challenges and vulnerabilities and about raising your child. And if you are a prayerful person, you'll find that you get your answers generally sometimes a lot easier.
Thank you so much, Norma, for your time and for sharing your story and your information with us today.
You're quite welcome, Gilda. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And I wish the best to all of you and all your audience. Thank you so much.
If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast. You can find it on Apple iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, and other popular platforms. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And if you would like more information on this topic or anything else we've covered on the Autism Resource Podcast, visit us online at autismresourceproject.org/podcast. If you have a topic you'd like us to cover in the future, contact us through the website or comment on any of our social media channels. And be sure to check out our growing website often, since we are continually adding useful information and resources. I want to thank our listeners for spending part of their day with us. This is the Autism Resource Podcast, and I'm Gilda Evans, reminding you to take care of yourself and that special person in your life.